And we're back. Day 13 of this winter cut, down to 278, which isn't as low as I was, but we're kind of getting back on track after the Christmas dinner shoot up. And the current conundrum is that I forgot to pack shorts, so right now I'm trying to decide if I want to take my pants off and put knee sleeves on under, or just try to go knee sleeves over top. And deciding factor was realizing that sleeves over pants is going to be the sillier option, so we're going with that. In case it needs to be stated, the reason I'm putting these sleeves on is today is squat day. And the plan is run some 10s again and be less pathetic than we were last week. And we're running the 50 mil lens again, so hopefully we can use it to annoy Joel more than usual. More.
Fucking hell.
And going straight to 2 because I'm hoping it forces me to be less shitty than I was last week. Yeah, definitely less shitty than last week. 10 again, but probably not 10 because I can't count.
10, yeah, last week was 9.
Well, I thought it was 10, so placebo
I'll
effect.
count for you.
Okay.
10 again.
I thought that was 14. And Joel's going straight to 4, but if we factor squat depth into the Wilks equation, I think I'm still winning.
I think I win that.
Yep. 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 Meat day taught you how to depth. And after that, I might have to go straight to 4, just to not lose to 165. Okay, only goal, not go to total, complete, utter shittiness here. Woo! I don't know how shitty that looked yet, but assume it felt much worse than it looked, even if it did look really shitty. And I think with how much that one fucked me up, like not only was it very difficult on the whole lung getting oxygen into muscle situation, hamstring felt pretty freaking like crampy towards the end of the set, like not a strain, but just like kind of like trying to barely grab at me. So I think I'm gonna make the smart call, considering that was a big jump from last week, and move right on to hacks versus taking a second set. And with the ham getting a little sketchy there on squats, plan for the hacks is just to make sure I don't turn it into an actual strain. And it's like every time that I have something kind of like this pop up in training, like people always want to comment talking about why they think this, that, or the other happened and blah, 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 blah. But reality is that if I just took less of a jump this week or didn't push reps as far, it wouldn't have happened. And like that's the biggest reason why I always say that load management is the most important thing when it comes to injury risk, because regardless of position, regardless of technique, regardless of where you're going in space, if you are using a load that you're prepared to handle, you're not going to have problems. And like with this being too big of a jump, a little bit of what happened is when I do get very fatigued on squats, I kind of tend to revert to like the old multiply powerlifting patterning on squats that I learned when I was a kid. And I tend to dump the hamstrings, and then the hamstrings tend to get grabby. And it was just kind of like the sweet spot of grabby enough that it hurts, but not so grabby that it's fucked up. So at least we're not fucked up, and that last set of half squats felt kind of okay. And if we can make 3 feel not sketchy here, we'll go 4, but we got to make 3 not feel sketchy first. Yeah, we'll go 4. And Joel had 4 plates and a 5 on here, which kind of feels silly putting a 5 pound on the half squat, but whatever, we'll just do it. Progressive overload at all costs. Watch the 5 pound plate be what pushes me over the edge and I die on this set. Actually, pleasantly surprised that I was able to push that hard enough without any weirdness happening in the general taint region. And I think because that didn't feel sketchy, we'll make up for the lack of second sets of squats and run a second set here. Okay, set number 2. Let's keep her in the non-sketchy range. Yeah, mission accomplished. And now we're gonna try to touch some of that medial ham adductor magnus in a hopefully manageable way with some light sumos. Felt appropriately gross. Gonna wedge it a little slower. Yeah, that's just like the right amount of terrible to do the trick. Because it's like, if you got something that's acting a little bit sketchy but not terrible, directly challenging it with some light work, reminding it how to do its job, is going to help you make up ground in both the short and long term. And I think I probably will keep the sumo slot in here on this day, and the goal will be to progress from this embarrassingly light stuff more towards true speed work. More patient on the wedge, this one. A little better. And relatively similar plan here. You're going to try to modulate torso angle to kind of touch the spot exactly where it hurts, but not make it hurt too bad. And the goal will be to try to desensitize it a little by the end of the set. Gonna slide a tiny bit longer this set. And then to support the hamstring and try to reinforce a better focus on squats, gonna do some of these guys, but make them glutey. And what I mean by that is I'm trying to like ab curl my rib cage down and then just extend hips over top of that. What I'm trying to visualize is kind of like push that towards the roof, kind of imagining that I have the ab tissue that I would on a dead bug, and then just flex glutes, get a really big glute pump, and feel nice. And one of the final things we do today, just a little more direct hammy touching. Don't think it'd be as wise to do something as gnarly as Nordic right now with how things feel, but I figure the lion guy should let us get a decent squeeze, a little pump, try to desensitize through the set as well. And we'll finish up with classic cable hip flexor raises, just trying to make the hips feel nice and juicy after all that jazz. And as much as these little stinger things are kind of freaking annoying, at this stage of my powerlifting career, I've almost learned to appreciate them in a couple of ass backwards ways, because first off, if this is happening, it tells me that I need to do a better job with load management. Because again, like in my head, slapping a plate on from 3 reds to 4 reds ain't that big of a jump, but in the grand scheme of things, with how out of shape I am, 4 reps coming off after meet, how out of shape cardiovascular I am coming off of the pneumonia, like that was a too hefty of jump for what I was prepared to. I couldn't hold it together. I dumped in the hamstring, and the hamstring grabbed a little bit, and like it grabbed a little bit, but thankfully it wasn't a bad enough grab to be anything that I need to worry about. And the second reason that I kind of learned to appreciate these is when I was 18, 19, 20 years old and something like this would happen, I would end up freaking right out and really losing like 6 to 8 weeks of good training because I have a little twinge and I think like, oh, I can't move it again until it feels better. And then because I was never moving it, it would never feel better. And I just end up, not doing shit for way too long and then having a way bigger hole to pull myself out of. So being able to then get over it quickly kind of like makes me enjoy the process a little bit more. And like, it kind of is like a reminder that I'm not invincible and it's not that everything's a given. And I do need to be this little bit more cautious. And I'm just grateful to have that reminder right now while the weights are still light and I can make sure that my shit is together for the rest of this off season, rather than having a reminder like this when the weights are heavy and actually have it be something that could jack me up. So there is a little perspective for the Saturday vlog that's probably going to get published on a Sunday or Monday. But thank you guys so much for watching. Stoked to, have done well on everything but for the squats. And even like the squats, it was moving in the right direction. It's just, dumbass meathead move on my part, putting more weight in the bar than I should have. And I got to remember that plates do exist between, the 25 kilo plates. Like I could have just slapped a 10 or a 15 on there and got some productive 10s in and, been better off. And I think on that note, the plan for next week is, again, like make sure that I'm prepping the shit for this guy so it's good to go. And then probably take something, at that 3 reds and a green type loading, make it smooth, make it good, and then take a couple more jumps before I take revenge on the 235 kilo and make her look smooth. But anyways, guys, I will let you go. If you need more help with your training, with your technique, with accessory selection, with figuring out how to navigate the bumps along the road of powerlifting, hit the link below, join the team. We will help you get sorted.